Hello, my peoples. Another video coming your way. I got firewood stuff all over me because I just brought firewood in the house because it's like 17 below zero, feels like at our house. I had somebody ask why we don't have the jingle at the front of the video anymore. I just felt like it took up time. Do you really want a jingle? I can do a jingle if we need to. I may do it later. For right now, I'm just going to try to get you content because I'm barely able to do that. It came to my attention that there's a set of pliers that are used for plug welds that I think are actually pretty cool. They're plug weld pliers. I've always just used vice grips and I clamped them together on each side of the plug weld. And I think there's a better way of doing it. And so I found them. Eastwood sells a set of them. I'll put a link in the description. But for me, I priced them and they had them on sale for $22, but shipping was $10. I'm like, that just seems like too much money for a glorified set of vice grips with a little ends on them. But I could be wrong. I may regret doing what I'm about to do, but since I don't want to wait a week for them to come in, and I don't want to spend that kind of money, I'm going to make my own. I mean, why not? I've got plenty of little clampy things around here that I can modify, make my own little clampy things. So I'm going to do that because I'm in full plug weld mode for the Born Again Mustang. And one of the reasons why I haven't welded it up yet is because I have a project in the future that you're going to be excited about. I am going to show you in the future. I'm only going to give you just this little piece right here. This is a big announcement. We're going to convert a coupe to a fastback. We're going to use my car that I called Susie. We're going to rename Susie Lazarus because she's coming back, or he's coming back from the dead. And the Lazarus car, I'm going to do a quick conversion of it and sell it. It is a junk car that would have been thrown away. It's certainly a car that would not, it's dead for all practical purposes. It doesn't have running gear, nothing, but I'm going to convert it to a fastback, and I'm going to show you how to convert a coupe to a fastback for under $2,000. Just talking body, and I know some of you are going to, wait a second, what about the rear end, and what about the lug nuts, what about the interior? I know, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the body. I'm talking about taking a coupe Mustang and making it a fastback for under $2,000. That's going to happen. I'm going to show you how to make a coupe Mustang with no running gear with an 8.8-inch rear end. It'll be a roller. I'm going to do a few other things to it for under $2,500. So you'll have a car that can roll around for $2,500 cost-wise. Now I'll have work in it, and my work's going to be worth something. So when I sell it, I'm going to sell it as if I made the kind of money you would make to weld one of these cars and put one of these cars together. But that's what it's going to cost to build that car. But today we're not doing that. We're going to build a pair of two sets of plug weld pliers. And I'm going to show you how to do that. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be really cool. Plug weld pliers, you're going to see those. I'll put a little something on there for you to look at and show you plug weld. So we're going to build a set. I'm going to show you how to do it. And I think it's going to save you some money. And I think they're actually going to be pretty handy. Pretty handy. So first things first, I've got to find the bottom of the pliers have copper on them. And I'm going to need to find, and if you don't have one of these junk drawers, you need one. Because I'm going to tell you and be honest with you, these things, oh, there's a little something. There's a piece that might work. But if you don't have one of these junk drawers, you're talking about saving some money. These things will save you some money. They will give you some heartache, but they'll also save you some money. I don't throw these little pieces and parts away. These things will cost you an arm and a leg to build. I'm trying to think if that could work. I actually want it to be flat on the bottom. That ain't going to work. One of these days I'm going to get organized and put my springs and I just don't think I can beat that out to where that would actually work. Yeah. No, that's not going to work. Also, what else I'm going to need is I'm going to need a pair of, no, sorry, wrong one. See, here's some of my clampy things. I've got a bunch of clampy things on my Mustang. I think the smaller ones, because they're going to go in smaller spaces, like here's a crappy pair, needs a spring on it. But I think I'll use those. Yeah, that's going to work. These are what I'm going to use. You get these probably from Harbor Freight for next to nothing. Okay, so that's what we're going to use. So here's kind of my parts and pieces. I'm going to use these pliers, and I've got to thinking about it. I think I'm going to make one more set that actually have a longer reach. I'm going to use this to go over the ends. I think that's going to work. Yep, I do. Here's another one. I don't know that this is copper, but I don't think that's going to work for what we need. 3/16 metal, which is going to be the top plates and the clampy plate thingies. I think all that's going to work. So that's kind of what we're going to work with. So for this little plier thing to work, the tip of my MIG welder has to actually fit in where the pliers pinch. So I need for that to fit, and it's got to fit fairly tight. So I'm going to take and measure it. So I've got my old calipers. Take my calipers like this. End of my, stay there. Going to measure it right there. And then if I take my step bit, shows me next to the top. Probably the top. Probably the step bit all the way through is probably the way to go. So that's what we're going to do. That's the size we're going with.
Something about you isn't right. I swear you can make me lose my mind. Lying here awake at night. If this is love, then I don't want it. Why you gotta be so complicated? I'm sick and tired of contemplating. I don't wanna be here waiting. If this is love, then I don't want it. I can't be the one.
Okay, that's a dull step bit. Let's see if I got another one.
Whenever you feel down, I can't be that someone who'll always be there when something's wrong. I can't rely on you now. I can't rely on you anymore. I can't depend on you now. I can't rely on you. Why is everything so problematic? Why are you acting so neglected? Feel so cold and unaffected. Swear to God that I don't want this. No. Something about you isn't right. Swear you can make me lose my mind. Lying here awake at night. This is love and I don't want it. I can't be the one you keep running to whenever you feel down. I can't be that someone who'll always be there when something's wrong. I can't rely on you now. I can't rely on you anymore. I can't rely on you now. I can't rely on you anymore. I can't depend on you now. I can't rely. Morning has broken, my windows are open. Wanna feel the wind blow through my hair. Which way do I follow? What happens tomorrow? I turn to you and hope you can guide the way. Sometimes I give up, just wanna be on my own. Even in the darkest times, you give me hope. So I lean on you when I've lost my way. I keep holding on for a better day. I lean on you when the world's astray.
I know my air compressor's going. Sorry about that. Give this a gawk, though. I know they're not beautiful, and I probably should have started with a better pair of pliers, quite frankly, but it is what it is. they're gonna do the trick. Now here's the problem, or here's the idea. The idea is this base plate is underneath the plug weld, so that keeps you from blowing through the metal, all right? The problem is, because this is made out of mild steel, if you do blow through it, then you're gonna weld your pliers to the actual piece that you're working on. So here's my solution. My solution is I'm gonna take this copper pipe, I'm gonna flatten it out where it'll fit over the top of that, and it'll slide over the top, and I'm gonna flatten it out so that it'll have copper on it. Now the reason why you want copper on it is copper is gonna prevent this from your metal sticking when you weld. So that'll give you like a cool deal. So I'm gonna work on that. Let's see if we can get that to work. Sorry, I just videoed me cutting this friggin' end off this thing. So just imagine, in your imagination, somebody used a cutoff wheel to cut that off at the end. And then I started squishing it, and then I realized I hadn't turned the stupid camera. Sorry about it. Like I tell you guys all the time, I'm definitely not a professional YouTuber. And I don't even know if I am a YouTuber. I don't even know what I am, really. I don't even know why I do these videos. I've asked that question. Okay. Look at that little setup right there. Now, let's see here. Here's our little pliers. Oh, that's gonna work. Not in there yet, hold on. Oh yeah, hold on. God Lord. We're close though. Oh, look at that. Look at that, would you? Look at that. It's close. All right, I gotta whack it on there all the way. So here we go. I like it already. Look at that. I need it to be flat on there, kinda, I think. Dang it, the bottom's flatter than the top. Maybe I can squish it. Get all squished on there. You see what I'm saying? Oh yeah, that's pretty flat. I don't want it to come off very easy. So, I might pinch that edge just to see if I can. I don't think I can though. No. Maybe. I don't know, that may be good enough. Look at that little setup now, would you? So see? So you'll weld, pull this back. I'm gonna show you on a weld here in a second, but look at that. That's a pretty cool little setup. Now, if you're sitting here watching this video and you go, crap, that's a lot of work for a pair of pliers, I'm not gonna disagree with you, really. But I didn't have to buy them. You know what I mean? So look at that. So see, there's my hole that I drilled. Here's my little pliers, they're still hot. And so imagine this is my MIG welder head, fits down here, and I would just go, and bam, I'd have a spot weld, a plug weld that'd just be perfect. See that? These clamp it down. It's got the copper on the bottom, so this won't blow through. Pretty cool, I think. Good little setup, look at that. So there it is. You clamp them down, it pinches that in tight. It'll just go down the line. I'm gonna make another set of these that this is off to the side. That way I can get them into cramped places. So, but anyway, that's gonna save me a good whopping $30. It only took like 3 hours to build it. No, it didn't take that long, but still felt like it did. Anyway, kind of cool.
Which way do I follow? What happens tomorrow? I turn to you and hope you can guide the way.